Joining me now with more on this is CTV's medical expert, Dr. Marla Shapiro, who is also a breast cancer survivor. Dr. Marla, thanks for being with us tonight. So you can speak to this from a unique perspective, medical expert and cancer survivor. Tell us what this is going to mean for women.
This will mean a lot for women. I sit on both sides of this, being a doctor who gets back at abnormal mammogram, and I understand and relate to personally the frustration of waiting until you can go in for an appointment to either have a magnification view, meaning a special type of x-ray, or then go on to this biopsy called a core biopsy, and then wait for the pathology results to come back, and then wait for a plan. And that on average can take at least a month or so. Certainly that was my experience going through the system. Dr. McCready was my own personal physician, but between the time of that first suspicious mammogram to absolutely getting the initial diagnosis and then waiting for a surgical appointment, it was upwards of close to a month.
So what's your feeling? Is this going to save lives?
I think that Dr. McCready is making the point that we don't expect it to save lives, because we do think that by the time the lump is there or an abnormality is noted on a mammogram to the time of finite diagnosis and treatment, that really in a sense you are where you are, and that extra 14 to 21 to 35 days doesn't make a difference in terms of hardcore outcomes. At least we lack that evidence right now. But really what it does is, in terms of the anguish that a family faces, the uncertainty, the fear, and then how it bleeds out into the entire family, that takes an enormous toll, waiting to hear, is this something suspicious? Is this suspicious a malignancy? Is a malignancy an invasive malignancy? And what's going to happen next? The reality of coming in and over the course of that day being able to walk out with a treatment plan, I hazard a guess that most women will feel like I did. The uncertainty and not knowing and not having a plan is much harder than knowing what you have and what you're going to do to deal with it.
Gosh, it seems to make so much sense that you can't help but wonder, why hasn't this happened sooner?
Well, this is special technology. Often what takes time is that getting the actual core biopsy, having the technical expertise to do this. Some people do aspirations, which can miss the cells, and then the actual processing. This is a very advanced diagnostic tool that processes the biopsied material so that it can be stained and sectioned and 6 hours later be read by a pathologist. Often it's the actual preparation time of it sitting in the lab, getting put into what's called a paraffin or wax block, then getting cut, getting stained, and then ultimately getting read. That can take 3 to 5 days. This now shortens it to a 6 to 8 hour period of time. And again, you have to have dedicated staff who are doing nothing but this.
And hats off to Ms. Gattuso and Mr. Slate for this. Do you know what they're planning on doing next?
Well, I think that it's the experience, and most likely I would hazard a guess her own personal experience, that has allowed her to not only empathize with women in her situation, but take that empathy and take some dollars behind the empathy and translate it into some 3,000 women a year who will know a whole lot faster what lies ahead and can have a treatment plan and get on with their lives. So kudos to her, and as a woman who's walked this path, I am particularly grateful.
Thanks so much for talking to us tonight, Dr. Marla. Good news story. We sure could use it these days. Appreciate
Absolutely.
it.
Thank you.
Good night.